Yeah, but they give them money. And it just shows you how two guys that people really looked up to caused everybody to start helping everybody.
We got to set an example. We got to set an example about just how Kentucky people are, you know.
Exactly.
We would much rather give than to receive, you know, so all I'm seeing that in us. And that's why we didn't have no problems with any of the teams, you know, other racers. They all wanted the country boys' help, you know.
Yeah.
I told them sitting in the airport, I said, listen, you might be able to outsmart me, you might be able to out-navigate me, but when it comes to working with them right there, you can't hold me a light to see by, you know. And they knew it, you know.
And they was right. I mean, we couldn't navigate. We couldn't get around. I mean, we would go. We've got that tire, when we did that kitchen, that solar kitchen. We put it together and we was, everybody, we went by blowing horns and everybody, we're in first place, yeah. Bopper, you know where we're going? Nope. Well, let's pull over and wait on somebody. So we had to pull over on the side of the Bopper said, just slow down, slow down,
listen, we'll let
them catch it.
We was driving through the middle of Argentina. I mean, Argentina.
And if you watched the race, you know me and Bopper absolutely enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't get on there and just go at it, but we was looking at everything around us because, I mean, we know we ain't gonna never be able to afford to do nothing else like that. We got to go to these places. I mean, it was just unbelievable. The kid, we went to, when we was in Africa running around, this little kid, 12 years old, he said, I want to go to the United States. I said, son, that's good. I said, you in school? He said, yeah. He sells stuff that he makes during the day, and they go to school at the evening time. I said, well, you probably got to go. He said, I speak, six different languages. 6 different languages a kid, 12-year-old spoke. And I'm going to tell you something, he was our guide that got us through Africa. Because, I said, man, you can't show us where it's at because when we was in Italy, they didn't show it, but we got people to help us to get us to, we got a police escort and all that. They didn't show us getting penalized for it. Yeah. So, the little kid was like, I know where all that is. I said, okay.
Just stay behind me.
Yeah, okay.
Point the direction.
Yeah.
Don't take it.
If we make a wrong turn, you say, oh, and we'll straighten back up and keep on going. So he got us all over the place, and it just shows you that kids, these little kids sitting around here, standing around here, this is what life is all about. And if you couldn't tell that with us, they didn't ask to be brought into this world. We brought them into this world, and it is our responsibility to take care of them. They're the future when we're gone, and if we teach them the right things, everything's going to be all right. But we got a bad problem over in our county that's the main reason that we always brought it up. I got a brother on drugs. And I wasn't the best kid ever growing up, but I mean, the mistakes you make, you learn from it, and I wouldn't change nothing because if I changed anything, I wouldn't be the person I am today. And and my kids love me, and I love them, and that's what life is about, is your children and everything. And like, this little guy shaved his head. And I'm so glad he don't look like Bopper. You're a lot prettier than Bopper, man. But hey, feel good about that. And that's the way everybody should feel good about the way they look. Nobody should be able to tell nobody, put nobody down or nothing like that. Because like I said, the only thing is you might be a little bit more fortunate, but you don't know how long that could happen. It could change tomorrow. I'm telling you, anything could happen tomorrow. And you don't know that person right there. You might need that person for somebody, for something or anything. So don't put them down because you never know.
When me and Mark went on the race, we pretty much knew we were the true underdogs on that race.
Oh, God, he had never flew on an airplane. I mean, underdog. We run in the airport. Where's the travel agency? Man, the travel agency's down there. Huh?
45 minutes back out.
So we go back out, and we was the brokest guys on the race because we got our money. First thing they give us this money, you know, we're hungry, 2 country boys. Well, this is the money. Well, we got plenty of money, Bob. Let's get something to eat. We see all these other people sitting here eating little snacks, sharing. We sit down at Chili's and just order us up some food like, yeah, we're going to eat. Then we go pay the taxi cab driver, pay this. We got $3 or $4 left. I mean, and we just, and everybody talks about poor old Rachel and Brandon, talking about her crying all the time. them two people, if me and Bopper ask him for anything, like when we just had the $2 or $3, here they go. They reached us a $50 bill and told us, don't worry about it. Y'all can use that for whatever. We didn't have to use it, and my good buddy Bopper, knowing we're gonna need that money, takes that $50 back to him and says, here, we didn't need that. I'm like,
It was a loan.
it wasn't a loan. We needed it in the next leg because we run out of money again. So,
No, you come from Manchester and stuff. We are considered one of the poorest counties in the nation, but we thought that we was poverty. We got to see the true meaning of poverty. We seen kids that had no more than just a towel to wrap around them, and that's what they wore. And they was in the fields working, and it was an honor and a privilege for those kids just to be able to work. And
kids this size. Kids this size right here. Working
They
this,
was working,
and happy-go-lucky.
Yes.
They make stuff. We was in Africa, and this little kid was standing there, and he had a sword. And he was a little bitty fella, and he was trying to sell that sword for $4 or $5. And I was like, well, we can't buy it because we couldn't ship it back.
Handmade that sword.
Handmade, and I just reached out just to touch it, just to see if it was real or something. Just barely touched it, and it sliced both my fingers.
Band-Aid.
Yeah, sliced both of them. And I said, man, what? They hunt with it. Like when we was in India. Oh, God. And I know that Bollywood dance.
I say it. That boy got no rhythm.
Well, listen, let me tell you something. I got sick. I know everybody seen me get sick on the way over. Well, I got sick, and usually when I get
I
sick...
seen him sick the whole show.
Yeah, Bopper takes over the task when I'm sick. Well, when we got over, I was sick, and I was just like, I ain't worried about nothing. Bopper's got it.